Hello, my friend. It's Eric Taylor, TAYLORED2U Coaching, and this is the custom video summary for Heathar Parisi. So basically, I'm going to go inside and break down your chart and show it to you. I gave you the write-up, and the whole analysis is with the system whole sign. There's another system, this is all Western tropical astrology, called Placidus, and you'll see that in the email. And there's little differences, and that's why I do the whole sign, because it makes it more predictive but accurate. And also the Placidus, like, it has your Venus in the 9th house. Well, your Venus is at 0 degrees, but it's in the 10th house. So that's in the whole sign system. So just an example of how that plays out like that, and you'll see it. But so with Mars and Moon and Capricorn in your first house, your chart ruler is really Saturn for Capricorn, but at the same time, the Moon, Cancer, and Mars, Aries, those three planets and energies will play a big role in your life and your chart. Capricorn, Cancer, and Aries. And of course, Libra, your sun sign. And because you have 5 planets in the 10th house of career and fame and reputation, all in Libra, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus, it's pretty intense, pretty powerful. And so it's really just, it's kind of unique. Most people might have 3 or 4. I think I've only seen once or twice with 5. So a lot of things for your ego, your intelligence, your thoughts and beliefs will be tied into your reputation and how you're known in the world with your career. And doing it in a pleasant way with writing and speech, and your heart and your ego will be in it, and innovative, unique ways with Uranus. Will all benefit you, and I'll show that inside, and we definitely are tied together with the Pisces North Node and the Capricorn Moon. And just remember, with that Capricorn Moon, you'll always kind of feel like you have to work, and there's got to be the balance of that North Node in Pisces, where you have to learn to kind of let go and let God, be more spiritual. And it's okay to dream a little and to fantasize, but use it in a creative way, and that could be with the writing. But your North Node is your destiny, where you have to be really headed and focused towards after 42, and that is in Pisces, but it's in the 3rd house. So it's for your siblings, your local community, cars, automobiles, short distance travel, the media, communication. So you've got to communicate your spirituality to people through your career and your job and your work and what you plan to do and want to do and what you're doing. So find ways to tie that in all together, and it will just be such a blessing for you. Don't hold back your true feelings and thoughts, because then that can make you more angry or passive aggressive. You have to this is a Libra thing, that Libras kind of hold things in, and then they wind up exploding eventually, or just, not getting their needs met. So be honest with your thoughts and your feelings, and share it to friends, family, and loved ones in terms of what you need to be happy. Okay? So, you'll see inside. I'll break it all down, but I would say the real focus is about the North Node, the 10th house, 1st house, and the karmic energy of Chiron. Now, the outer planets are all kind of karmic, right? From Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto. And Pluto in Virgo is really kind of about being, like, humanitarian, and all these different movements of, like, hard work, but focusing on health and hygiene and transforming the world and the country. But there's this Chiron in Aries where there's a wound about being assertive. And so you've got to find ways to be assertive, but in the proper way. I don't know where all these bugs came out. But anyway, it was an honor to do your chart. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Let other people know. I always want to be a blessing to my clients. Tailored2U coaching is about service and inspiring. I think you should start keeping a dream book and a journal, writing letters to your younger self, different ages of positive and negative memories, forgiveness, forgive and say sorry, to people you feel you need to, especially mom and dad. And there might be ways where you can be a blessing to your siblings. That's in the North Node and the third house with the Pisces. So maybe it's spiritually, But got a great chart, and you're a great lady, and I wish you nothing but the best, and I'm always here to help out. And I think astrology will really be a blessing for you and will give you a roadmap to major insight to your life. And hopefully you'll want to do your whole family, because it can make you a better parent. Because when you understand the moon of your children, you understand how to guide them and what their North Node is and what's in their 10th house. You can help them with pitfalls with their own journey in life, even with choosing their spouses in the future. Astrology gives you major insight to all of that, which, can really help them as individuals for themselves, but then you as a parent in terms of guiding them, Remember, your South Node is early years or past life, and your North Node is what will make your soul feel at home in this life in terms of what you are supposed to strive for and do, like your destiny. All right? Eric Taylor, Tailored2U Coaching. Enjoy the video summary for Heathar Parisi. Let's go inside. It's hot. Tailored2U Coaching. Check out tailored2coaching.com. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. My Twitter is @Tailored2C. God bless. Bye. All right, my friend, we're back inside, and I'm showing you your chart. It doesn't let me attach it, so I took pictures of it. Excuse me, and it will be in a custom video. So this is the wheel, the 12 houses. You see your ascendant, the first house, right? Capricorn. These are the symbols. And so there is your moon and Mars. That's in a conjunction, right? And you go along. I attached in there the Placidus. These are Western astrology systems. Placidus is very good. And then I also use, in the way that I did your breakdown, the whole sign. In your case, they're pretty similar, but the whole sign is more, can be more accurate, but more future seeing at times than Placidus. So that's what I do for my clients. And this is your fourth house, your roots, your home. This is Chiron, the wounded healer. So that's the energy antenna. And that, basically says that there was a wound from early on in childhood with your roots, your family, your home life, your lineage. It could be the divorce, but it could be something that's even generational, in family history, an emotional wound about home and family. And just being very sensitive to the energies, because it's an energy antenna. So even the energies in your current home or in retirement, you'll be, sensitive to the energies of all the people, the 3 kids and your husband, however they're feeling or reacting, you can tune into it. Sometimes you can help people with their issues, but you can't overcome your own with Chiron. Saturn in the 5th house, you see all this stuff. I was talking about just the general breakdown outside, but I just wanted you to see the whole chart, and you could see the stellium, which is more than 3 or more, and you got 5, right? Sun, Jupiter conjunction, right? Mercury, Uranus, and Venus. So it's pretty fascinating. Neptune here, and Sagittarius in the 12th house, like I was talking to you about. So let's kind of sum things up. So the 1st house, right? Your physical appearance, your outer mask, how others see you in the world, how you kind of show up, and your vitality, your actual physical health. Okay, so Moon and Mars there. Sometimes Mars can, show a sickness, even with the Moon. So there could be different things with the Mars and Moon there. But overall, you will have a warrior spirit. You can be very assertive. People can see you as nurturing and caring, but at the same time, more like a soldier or a warrior, a very assertive person. So you might not see yourself that way, but others might see you as assertive or aggressive, impulsive. That's the Mars energy, which rules Aries and Pluto. But Mars does rule the 1st house. So it's at home here. So it'll be comfortable in the sense that when you are active and exercising, it is best for your mindset and how you think about yourself and your emotions. So you're going to want to be in good health and to take care of yourself and stuff like that. It's interesting because it sort of means that Mars, it's almost like your chart ruler is Mars and the Moon, which would be Cancer and Aries. So really 2 of the most important people in your life, I guess, your husband and your grandmother, right, are Mars and Aries, are Cancer and Aries. So, and it's ruled by Capricorn. So the Capricorn rising is what sets up your whole chart. So you're going to be very much about being structured, organization. Sometimes Capricorn can be a little bit too serious and stuffy and uptight, but it's all about getting things done and following the task, right? Capricorn's ruled by Saturn, which rules time, and it can slow down time to achieve what needs to be achieved by hard work. And only after hard work will you get those achievements and goals that you need, even for your physical self, for just your whole chart energy. So the 2nd house is your self-worth, your values, material things, the 5 senses. And so with Aquarius there, you can be innovative, but you can be cold and detached. Aquarius rules Uranus and Saturn. So you can be very innovative in how you view yourself, can have issues about self-worth, but you'll have intelligent thought about money and your values in business. Maybe there could have been from childhood some coldness from a parent or detachment or whatever about your values and your self-worth. But you have to be careful, because you could also be very innovative in how you make money, but also how you might not want to pay taxes or do different things, But Aquarius is about innovation and change. Your values, you can be very much a humanitarian. The 3rd house, it's the siblings, it's short distance travels, how you express yourself, your communication, your learning, right? Early education for you, but it's also, your local community and short distance trips. So with your North Node here, in the third house, ruled by Pisces, it basically means you come from a past life or your first 30 years of being in the ninth house of long distance travel, philosophy, higher learning. And now you have, and that's in Virgo, but now you have to kind of let go that daily routine of wanting to focus on higher learning and philosophy and your beliefs and the traveling and this and that. And now as you get, past 42, you want to start to blend the energies almost like a 60-40, more like a 70-30, to go towards the North Node, which will fulfill your purpose and give you true happiness. So that, and being in Pisces, means being more intuitive, being more spiritual, closer to God and Source, having spiritual discernment, almost being an empath, right? You'll be in tune and sensitive to the energies around you. But you can also be in a fog at times, and a fantasy and a dream world. And Pisces does, though, rule, right, the film and arts and dance in a way, and water. So your destiny, your North Node being in Pisces, it's also chemistry and wanting to take care of people. So it could be about being a nurse or a doctor, right? And then even having the moon in the first house, right? That leads to nursing and caring. Moon in Virgo is sort of like represents a nurse. But it's about finding ways to help your siblings, your local community, in a spiritual sense, helping them to be healthy and right and spiritually together and just all those things. But you have to use your intuition more and come at it not just from the mental, so it's the science and the spirituality. Does that make sense? But also, I would start keeping a dream book. This is what I teach to my clients in my coaching program, because Pisces rules the dreams, but it's sort of that thin veil between the physical world and the spiritual world. So, and that's your sort of destiny, your North Node, you want to start to tap into, because when you meditate and you do yoga and you pray and really start to get into your subconscious with your dreams, you will get discernment from God that will give you revelation about how you should be in your local community, with your career, your destiny, your siblings, with cars, automobiles, even North Node and Pisces, with being around or having water around you. You might want to have pets that are fish, not just dogs, but also just maybe water in the house, a water tank, or traveling to water. The fourth house, your home, that's your roots, your family history, your lineage, but it's also your motherly love and nurturing, and then how you as a mother nurture, but also your retirement. And you could even look at, relocation and stuff like that. But Aries in the fourth house with Chiron. So it could be very literal. You'll come home and have an Aries partner, right? Which you do. And that's a good thing, right? That's sort of kind of like you married the right person, having Aries at home and that energy. But with the Chiron, there's a wound there. There's an emotional wound that comes probably from your childhood in your home life, but it could also be family history, your roots. Maybe there's certain things that you might need to research. I know you did the DNA thing and stuff like that. You have to see where that could, play in, and you tie that in. But maybe it's healing wounds with your mother or both your parents, and forgiveness, right? Because once we heal our inner child, then we can be the full spiritual person we're supposed to be in our lives. So there has to be some level of like, okay, mom did this, dad did this, talk to them, say you forgive them, say sorry, for holding any grudge or emotion or anger towards them, because that releases you and heals you. But Aries, right, you will be a leader in the home. You'll be assertive. You'll be like the warrior. You'll be like, okay, Olivia, you do this. Avery this, Luke that, Gavin this. You'll be sort of, you can be verbally combative. You can be assertive, a leader, and impulsive, and want to, take over how things are managed and done. The fifth house is your creativity, your heart, right? And fun, and like I said, 13 and 19, but it's also your children. It's gambling, politics. It's can be sports as well. So here you have Saturn. So there could have been some delays or restrictions to your fun as a child, because maybe you were more stubborn. Maybe you were, because that's what Taurus is, right? It's fixed earth. Maybe you were very grounded and mature, because Saturn will make you mature as a child. I don't know, go back in your mind from 13 to 19. Write letters to your younger self. That's something else I teach my clients. But of positive and negative memories, and just reassure, as the grown woman, reassure your young self that everything's going to be okay, and that you can let go of those hurt feelings or pains that you had during that time. Because Saturn and all the outer planets are karmic planets, but Saturn is limitations, discipline, structure, organization, restrictions. So maybe, and also it will restrict having children until after your Saturn returns at 29 and a half. So you had kids at 32, 33. So that's also a good thing, because then it makes you enjoy being a parent more. And it's a blessing. But there might even be some sort of restrictions, or your kids could be very mature, but there could be some restrictions on them. But Taurus, maybe they're into the five senses as well as you, but you don't have any Capricorn kids or Taurus kids, so that's, mainly focused on you. But it's really just about Saturn makes you put in the work, but then after you put in the work, you get blessings, right? You have 3 beautiful kids. You're teaching them values. Got to make sure you teach them self-love, self-worth, those things, to enjoy and appreciate their 5 senses, right? And just all that entails, and the beauty, right? You have a beautiful home, and you just want them to have appreciation for just the simple things, to taste food, to smell good smells, to enjoy what they eat and touch, and those things. The 6th house is your health, your hygiene, your daily routine, right? Competition at work, it's also just your personal, out in the workplace. So it's Gemini. So you can be a great writer. You can be quick at thinking, love to learn, but you can also have all these ideas and be focused on all these different thoughts and ideas about health and hygiene and about your daily routine. But you might want to do this and then switch and then do that. But you're going to want to communicate about your daily routine. You're going to want to learn about how to make your daily routine better, and have ideas and share that, right? You're going to want to improve upon. That's what the 6th house in Virgo does. And with Gemini, it's Mercury. You're going to want to improve your health and hygiene and working, okay? And the 7th house is your other half, relationships, marriage, negotiations, contracts, the marketplace, so sort of business and work, right? How you deal with those people. So you have Cancer there. So like we were talking about, that could be your grandma and that bond and that relationship. But it's also about wanting to nurture and care for others, and wanting to also be nurtured and cared for, and maybe your spouse, maybe your husband has Cancer energy in their chart. But also with the Black Moon Lilith here, it's the divine feminine, right? She was the equal to Adam, and then was sort of kicked out, and then Eve came to be more docile because it was from the rib, right? Lilith is only mentioned, I think, 1 time in the Bible, but it's this, divine feminine, but it's about following your instinct and gut and having that that real intuition, but a strong feminine figure. So on a man's chart, it will play out differently, but on a woman's chart, it's, it can be, I hate to say it's over sexualized, but it can be in the sense that you might flirt naturally, or people will sense sensuality. Sorry, I'm trying to balance this camera on my elbow. Or sexuality from you that you don't necessarily know you're sharing or putting out to people. So basically means you could have people that you're working with or whatever, or doing negotiation contracts with you, try to, maybe hit on you or whatever, but they might just sense a sensuality or a beauty or sexuality or an assertive female strong energy from you. But it can make men see you in ways that you might not see yourself. So you have to watch the videos and stuff, and even including your husband. It could just be, people are very obsessed with you or attracted to you, and it's something you might not notice or see, but maybe it's something that they feel or verbalize or whatever. But the Cancer energy is good there in the sense that it's about wanting to, and there can be an intuitive power there too. Cancer is very intuitive, right? But it comes at things sideways. So you're going to come at business and different things, sideways, and sideways is cautious, right? The crab is hard on the outside, but very soft on the inside. It wants to protect itself, doesn't want to get hurt. But sometimes being cautious, overly cautious, can be good and bad, but it can also be a good protector, because when you come at things sideways like a crab, right? Like literally like a crab walking sideways at things, it helps you view all angles, right? People aren't going to sneak up on you and surprise you maybe in that, I guess, in that matter, or in that way. Sorry about that. My elbow hurts. So the 8th house is your power, death, rebirth, sex, your, transformation, earnings, debts, your inheritance, but earnings from, your spouse. So with Leo here, one, you have to watch out for your heart health, heart disease, and your spine. Those can be issues around death and just in terms of, your body. But the Leo is very energetic and magnetic, and so you can be very, you can be very heart focused when it comes to the physical act of sex, leading with your heart. You can, have magnetic healing power. So if you get sick, you can bounce back, because the Leo is the power of the sun. When you have the sun in this house of Pluto and Mars, it can be very powerful. This is a fiery energy, and maybe your spouse can have a lot of fiery or Leo energy, right? Or like Aries energy. But Leo is fire, and it's creativity. So you might be into the metaphysics, astrology, numerology, or it can also help you magnify yourself and things like that, The 9th house is your beliefs, your higher learning, okay? How optimistic you are. It's about your expression in terms of how you express your philosophies in life. And so your philosophies are about, Virgo and Pluto. So it's transformation. It's about humanitarian. It's about eating healthy, right? That started the whole eating healthy and vegetarian and vegan movement, is the Pluto Virgo generation. But with Pluto here, it's really about death and rebirth to your beliefs, or even your education, and transforming, right? Because this is the 8th house power in the 9th house. So it can make you, and this is also where your South Node would be. It can make you very disciplined in these areas. It can make you sometimes maybe argumentative about your beliefs, but it can make you, question and have trust issues with people in education or higher learning, or even foreign cultures and foreign lands. But you would want to transform, and maybe that's about transforming that optimism, that higher learning, that foreign culture, long distance travel. So maybe you transform yourself and you spiritually are awakened when you go away to foreign lands and foreign cultures. It helps you switch up your hygiene and daily routine. You want to explore and you want to learn. It's also about the truth, right? You want to investigate. That's what Pluto does. So you want to know the truth when you travel abroad or learn about religions. You only care about the truth, and right, Virgo is analytical and logical. So you want to analyze cultures and travel and religions and beliefs and philosophies. The 10th house is the big whammy. You got 5 planets here. It's how your career, your fame, your father, how you're known in the world, your reputation. So when you have the sun here, right, and you can't look at one planet by itself, so I break it down that way, but they all kind of like merge together. Now your sun and Jupiter are conjunct, so they really merge, but you got the sun, Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, and Uranus. So basically it's all together. It's having this dire need, the Capricorn rising in the Libra in the 10th house of Capricorn, dire need to, and the drive and the magnetic pull and identity to strive for your goals and to really, excel in your career, and writing and your thought and your intelligence is key for that. Now, Venus will have you, and these two are conjunct, Venus and Mercury, I think by the degrees. This will have you have a nice speaking voice. Your father can be a businessman, right? Sun is literally your father, and Mercury is business. So he could be a businessman. He could be a teacher, a professor, a writer, a good writer, you as well. But you can be harmonious, and you'll find beautiful ways to write and be, your highest self when you're known in the world, how people know you. So people will know your speech being nice, your intelligence, your mind, right? Your ego. Now, the only thing though is that you have to stay humble because of the intelligence and all that being in the career and in this house, right? It can make you get arrogant about your higher education and what you learn and your philosophies. So you don't want to get too dogmatic, and you don't want to get too arrogant about your philosophies or your beliefs. Venus will sort of keep you, in a pleasant place about that. But Uranus also will make you be a rebel and a revolutionary in your career. So that means you might try innovative things. You might have sudden changes to your career. You might have new philosophies or ways of being a doctor or a nurse or a writer or, helping others and sharing your philosophies about those things, right? About how someone can increase their intelligence or their beauty with Mercury and Venus. But it's those 5 things there can make for just a lot of power and innovation. So I told you blogs, really getting involved in the internet and social media. That's where everything's going anyway, especially after COVID. But you want to have an online presence, and you want to have a website for selling. E-commerce is really the way of the future. But with Libra, it's still going to be, everything will be fairness, balance, and harmony and peace for you, even in your career, because that will lead you to the most success. Now, the 11th house is your friends, your hopes, your dreams, your wishes, organizations, innovation, right? It's ruled by Aquarius and Uranus. But it's about, technology, the internet, astrology, all these things is the 11th house. And so Here, you have Neptune and Scorpio. So, that's like really Pisces energy, Neptune. So here, with that Scorpio, you can have friends that are literally friends that are into astrology or numerology or their cult. You have to have discernment of your friends and people that, are helping you out. At times you can be dreamy or idealistic or unrealistic about groups, organizations you're a part of or that you join, or even sometimes with friends. So you have to watch out for deception. But at the same time, you can be extremely spiritual and caring and nurturing for your friends. And maybe with your friends or different groups, you could be very big into film or dance, right? Or water. But the Scorpio, that being there, it's really about investigation. It can be about having friends who are powerful, friends who are in the legal field, psychologists, police officers, detectives. You can be, I was watching a video, I guess you'll see it. I guess it would say like you could be like a local neighborhood watch person. It just can represent a lot of things. But overall, it's really about being spiritual with your friends and sharing spirituality and giving people hugs sometimes. The 12th house, it's really your undoing, your loss of energy. Is jails, hospitals, monasteries, any sort of isolation, but hidden talents and hidden bed pleasures. That's the 12th house. So when you have Sagittarius there, it might not be right there in the front of your mind, in the frontal lobe, but maybe subconsciously, you lose some of your optimism, or you might lose some of your philosophies, or, you could, not be as adventurous as you truly want to be. Maybe you want to take more risks. Maybe you want to be more, adventurous, with bed pleasures or whatever, but it's subconscious. So it's the 12th house is where kind of like energy can get dissolved. I'm not saying that you won't be optimistic at all and stuff like that, because you look at Jupiter in the 10th house, right? So you're going to be very optimistic when it comes to career. This just might be less optimism and less, philosophical about, sort of the end of life or loss of, or just about those things, about hospitals, about, foreign travel or foreign cultures or jails or isolation, but there's a fire burning for you to take risks and to tap into that sort of subconscious spirit. Okay. Overall, and I have these videos for the aspects, and I put the videos for, some of them are mine, like I said, some other astrologers. But overall, it's just a great chart. You've got to stay humble. You've got to trust your gut and your instinct. You have to write. You have to use the innovation that Uranus in the 10th house, and use that Sagittarius to take risks, but be innovative when it comes to your career and taking, whether it's taking chances or just having innovative ways, to do what you want to do with health and with sharing that to people. And maybe it's writing a book, doing a YouTube channel, showing recipes and tinctures and stories and stuff, and then selling them, online, and having your online store along with your practice, because it will be well received. With Venus and Mercury there, people are waiting to hear how you're going to talk about those things. And your ego will be fulfilled with the sun there when you do so. When you share your philosophies and communicate in a pleasant, harmonious way and an innovative way, it will be received to the world. Does that make sense? I mean, it's literally right there. That's what that's saying, right? Share your philosophies and what you want and have to offer to the world. Share it through technology. That's the Uranus, right? The internet, and in a beautiful, harmonious way, Venus, and Mercury, the intelligence and the speaking, the media, right? You could be a very good public speaker and a good writer. So I think that that's, a way to go, right? And even with the local community, because that's where your North Node is, So anyway, I hope this will help. I know it will. And, just love on your parents, forgive them, love on your husband, your kids, and continue to stay focused. But don't let the Capricorn energy overtake you with the moon and Mars and the rising, in the sense that you don't take time to enjoy and smell the roses. Because Capricorns, we're tough on ourselves, and we have such goals and discipline. We're just so structured and disciplined that sometimes we don't just let our hair down and relax. And for you need that for your health with the Mars to exercise, and it's yoga and Jupiter, and I think that finding ways to get out in nature and exercise and do different things will keep you stable. And I think a dream book will really help, because then you'll start to get downloads from God that will inspire you for all this stuff right here, for your, innovation and your business or whatever, And you see, that's the 10th house is what they call the MC, the midheaven, So let this be a guide and a roadmap, all right? And tell your friends. Eric Taylor, TAYLORED2U Coaching. God bless. Peace.